Joined by Mike Johnson, MJ. By his standards, Auston Matthews is in a mini-slump. Only 2 goals in his last 8 games. At his peak, he was on a pace to score 76 on the season. But this quiet stretch has put a bit of a dent in that. He now needs 16 in the final 18 games to hit 70 on the season. So, how do you like his chances now, MJ?
I figure his chances, Gino, are about even. Because how many times in his career has he scored 16 goals in 18 games? He must have done it a half dozen different times, because when he gets hot, he gets really hot. We know about all the hat tricks he can score, how he can get them in bunches. And so, yes, he's gone through a little cold snap where he hasn't scored quite as much. And that's the difficulty when you're averaging a goal a game. If you go a few games without a goal, your averages go way down. But it takes one good game to put him back on track. So I say it's basically even money. And while Auston Matthews is not focused on 70, 68, 72, it's all around the same. It's a nice round number for him to shoot for. I'm sure the guys will like to try to get him to it if he gets close the last 5-6 games.
All right, let's dig a little deeper. One problem plaguing Matthews is Sheldon Keefe's inability to find him a left winger. It's been uninspiring in terms of a battle. The 4 players who've had an extended look, Nyes, Bertuzzi, Holmberg, and Järnkrok. He's spoiled on the right side when Mitch Marner is healthy, but how important is it for the Leafs to find the answer on his left wing before the start of the playoffs?
Gino, what are we talking about? This is Auston Matthews. He's the best player, supposed to be the best player in the world. He's paid like it, and he has one of the best couple right wingers in the entire world that he works so well with to play with all the time in Mitch Marner. So, yes, of course it would be great if you could have a left winger that maybe worked a little bit better for him, but that's not the issue. If Auston Matthews and Mitch Marner don't do well in the playoffs, it's not because their left winger wasn't good enough. It's because the opposition was really good, and those 2 guys aren't good enough. That is the responsibility of being Auston Matthews and Mitch Marner, is that you take whoever's on left wing, any of those 4 guys, you, me, whoever, you make that guy better, and you make your line work against whoever you play against. That's the responsibility. That's the challenge. That is the expectation. So, no, I don't think they have to search for a left winger or something that works. Any of those guys should be more than good enough when you put Marner and Matthews together to do what they need to do in the playoffs.
Would you blame Leaf fans right now if they start looking back at former guys who played that left wing on the top line with Auston Matthews and start to wonder, man, what if this guy was still around right now?
You know what they'd say? If that guy was still around, somebody else wouldn't be there because they wouldn't be able to afford anybody else. So maybe Nylander doesn't get his extension. Pick your poison. In a salary cap world, you have to allocate your dollars. They got a guy on an entry-level deal, Matthew Nyes, playing primarily on the first line. That is a function of being capped out with all your high-priced players. You can't have everything as much as me and you and Leaf fans may want it. That's not how it works. You got to take what you have, and you have to make it work.
An entry-level deal on the left wing with Auston Matthews, the best scorer in the NHL right now. The Leafs' highest-scoring left winger this season, by the way, it's Nyes. He's tied for 56th amongst the left wingers with Andre Palat and Michael Carcone.